when you said that you would kind of like speak up in other situations, like in publishing, but especially in sports, is where you didn't. It occurs to me that like we had no information about like how to keep our authority figures um, culpable.
Yeah.
like what would you do? I mean, I think it's true in school too that like if yeah, if you wanted to if you had an issue with a teacher, like it just wasn't clear who to go to, and it was even more so true in sports. Like you just had this one person who was like in control of your reality, and that's all that you knew. There was no there was like there was no clear like pathway to take to like challenge any like abuse of power.
Yeah, like I mean, if I could go back, I probably would have, more embraced like I guess the parent intervention part. But even then, like there's, there are limits. Like
Yeah.
I had a, math teacher who, and to be fair, like I was like math teachers thought I wasn't, engaged in class enough. And to be fair, like did I fall asleep in class? Yeah, he was a boring teacher.
Yeah.
So whatever. But I was also exhausted.
Yeah.
Like to be honest with you, like students, like being a student alone is like it's a lot.
Yeah.
You're trying to be a student athlete. You're trying to balance all these things. Like even if you don't do and trying to do all the things you need to do as a student athlete to maintain, like, because it's not just people romanticize this, like you go to school, you go to practice, you go home, do your homework, and you're fine. It's like, nah, to be like, especially in like these like high profile sports or whatever, like you have to do all this training alongside, like go to practice, and you gotta go like training sessions, maybe 2 training sessions or whatever, just to just so you can keep up pace, because everyone's trying to get their kid to college, everyone's trying to get their kid a scholarship. So it's like this highly competitive environment. So by the time, and then beyond the workouts, you gotta go home and just like, okay, I gotta make sure I maintain this push-up regimen, I gotta make sure I do all these crunches and write them on my calendar or whatever, make sure I record everything, do all that, plus school, plus any other extracurriculars, because I was also in band at the time, and all that. And then like I said, sophomore year I was also in rites of passage too. So
Yeah.
it's just like all these, you gotta maintain all these things, and so you get to class and it's like, yeah, you might fall asleep in class sometimes. It happens, but basically like, so I guess you told my mom that in their parent teacher conference that it's like, tried to tell her that I didn't care about the subject matter or whatever, and my mom was like, no, he's just tired, he's whatever, but can you how can we fix this, or how can we help this? And basically he just blew her off. And so I remember like he had this thing where it's like he shakes every student's hand at like the end of the year, and he gave me the just nothing, like on the, like I was like, that's petty, but
Wow.
Okay, whatever. And so like, whereas like I say, maybe I should have embraced the parent intervention part more. It's like even then I don't know if it would have done anything. So it's just like yeah, I don't know. Maybe the answer was just it was what it was, and you kind of take it, I take the lessons, and hopefully I can apply them later on in life to help other people, I guess. There's got to be a better answer, but
No, that's awesome. Oh, and we're gonna get to that. What would you pass?